educate. That's how we move forwards as a country, by education. You know, that's a right. It's not a privilege. These are the things that we need to focus on, the basics. Power, water, public services, public utilities, health. Health, the fact that it's a profit-generating exercise. How should health? How the hell? Health. Getting sick should not be oh, excellent. Let's make some money out of this. Because that's what's happened. We've allowed the entire Western medicine system to become an engine to generate profit. Not to create health, not to create healing, but to generate profit. And perpetuate profit. And they look at ways of maximising and increasing profits. How do you maximise and increase profits? You make more people sick. It's a scary thought, considering what we know people will do to make profits. The reality of it. Oh, yeah, look, as I said, the stuff that I talks about, that I can relate to, but then there's the other things, you know what I mean? We have to stay on point. We have to stay and talk about and focus on the things that are impacting people's lives. Our world has become profit-centric, not people-centric. It's not about the people, it's about the profit. Now, what the fuck? The profit is for some people. So you go, hang on a minute, so it is centric on people. Just not all of the people. Just those rich fucking people. So, you know what I mean? So once you start looking at that, you've got to become... I find that most people are looking at life too subjectively because they're in it. And they look at what's around them. They're not given the opportunity, or they don't take the opportunity to take that step back and look at things objectively and look for the reasonings behind things other than what their own perception would immediately suggest. So it's incumbent upon us to invite people to explore other options. And when we start throwing in the crazy stuff or the more extreme stuff, it clouds the water. And I don't want cloudy water. What I'm seeking is clarity for the people. I'm seeking people to understand that, seriously, it's like I've done the maths, okay, to actually pay all the fees involved for both the Senate and the federal, and to even spend some money on some advertising. $5 million would pay all of the generic costs for registering 13 candidates for every electorate in the House of Reps and the Senate over 2 elections, right? And you could wipe out both major parties for $5 million. That's not much of an investment, is it? $5 million to get rid of Labor and Liberal. Think about the money that we could get back once we collapse their evil empires and declare them criminal organisations. Not just the stuff here in Australia. We will chase them out, mate, and we'll seize every fucking penny that Turnbull's got. You're not getting away, mate. Hang on. Roll a cigarette. So, yeah, look, I think it's important that we have discussions around alternatives when it comes to politics, because I even, like, this is a guy I know, and he's been around a bit, and he knows the negative aspects of Liberal and Labor. But it wasn't until I noticed something he wrote earlier on this year, when he started a new campaign of putting Libs and Labs last. Yeah, put the Twins last, and I love that, because I would imagine that's what everyone had always tried to do. But no, he said that he would, when he'd go to vote, he would put his, this is the one I want to win. Not going to, but it's the one I want to win, so your dream candidate up first. But then you would go to Lib or Lab, whichever one you hated less, because you didn't want the other one to get in. Because there's a realisation that it's always going to be one of them. So, and that's that mentality. So as much as people, and this is someone that's like, he's not a young man, someone that's like older than I am, but has been involved in the whole advocacy thing for years and years and years. So if someone like that still thinks like that when they walk into that polling booth, then one has to really look at the percentages that a lot of other people do also. So that they're also giving that Lib and that Lab, and that's where the preferences are coming from. That's why Liberal and Labor are making it into the seats, into the government, and controlling us. So, independence across the board, based on a common platform of Australians first. Okay? So we need to get health, public health system, public education system, public transport system, public banking system. Let's get these basic things so that we can give people the basics, you know? And if we have to build a shitload of dormitory kind of facilities in the inner city for homeless to go to until we can work out what assistance they need to reintegrate into whatever level of society they choose, because that's all it'll take, is a launching platform for most of them, an opportunity to be able to move forwards, because they just get lost and caught up in it all, you know. So this is the thing, we have to start as a society, as a community, moving forward. So we want elect people that are interested in making the country better for Australians, for all Australians, as a secular country. No religious impact whatsoever on our rules and regulations at all. And no more building of freaking churches or mosques. Alright? You want to worship, that's fine. We'll build some really lovely non-denominational structures if necessary in an area. Okay? But no more of this, oh, this or that. Okay, mate. God isn't in the design of a house. Alright? He isn't in the shape. He isn't in the name on the door. Or she. So, like, little changes, you know? We can move forwards in little ways. So, you know, like, the central platform. Okay? Public education funds go into public education. So no more education funding for private schools or religious schools whatsoever. Cut them off. Done. And you go, oh no, they won't be able to afford all those good teachers. Excellent. Because the public funding, the public schooling system is going to have this big influx of cash and they'll be looking for some good quality teachers. And here there's a lot of unemployed ones coming out of the private sector. So, great bonus. Nobody's losing jobs. They're just transitioning to working for the people to educate the people's children. Okay? So that's one simple thing. Health. Okay? Health funding into the public health service. No more privatising, no more of the private ones. No. Public monies to the public hospital for all. And if you think you're too good for the public system, then feel free to pay to go somewhere else. But we're going to put all the money into the public hospital system so it's good enough for the people. Okay? So that's health, education. What else should we look at? Public services? Well, utilities, electricity, water, immediately back into public dominion. There's no question about that. Now, little things, it's very, very hard because of agreements that the governments have made in the past with, you know, big corporations to come in and asset strip us. It'll be very, very hard for us to take away certain rights. But what we can do is we can look at alternative things. So by putting in things like an excise tax on things like gold of, you know, I don't know, $4,000 an ounce, so that it becomes, you know, impossible to export it because, you know, it's not worth that much. Or to make it so that first option for any precious metal has to be given first to the Australian government for purchase. And then we can start building up our gold reserves again. Little things. You know, like basically anything that we've basically given away, we'll just put tariffs on the gate to stop them getting away with exporting it anymore. The food that the Chinese are growing here on our land that they've managed to take off us from our food bowls, that's fine, but there's going to be huge tariffs on that food leaving Australia to go back to China. Okay? Little things like that. We can get back our country step by step, moving forwards, just by wanting to do so.